Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. Bittensor TAO has had so far a 71% correction from the recent highs, and we can say that at the moment it is in an accumulation zone. In today's video we're going to talk about the pattern that Bittensor is forming on the weekly time frame, and we're going to do in-depth TA on the coin, look at the liquidation levels, and I want to share with you guys 3 levels. And the first one is 100% up from where we are at the moment, and I want to discuss what is the potential to get to the first, second and third levels. We look into what the rest of the people are thinking at these levels, some news, so get ready for some serious TA. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell to get notified every time I put out one of these videos. Let's see if in this video we can get over 1,000 likes. So first of all, I want to get started by looking at the liquidation levels on TAO. On the 3-month, we can see that after having had 3 rejections at around $500, which is a psychological level, let's face it, we tried mid-January, end of January, and on the 21st of February. After that, the correction went way deeper, taking the lows from early February. On the shorter term, we can see that at the moment Bittensor has some serious liquidation levels at around 232. On the upside, the immediate liquidity that is heavier is $300, followed by 360. So let's take note of those levels and let's bring it into the technical analysis and we see if there's any overlap with the technicals. But before we get into the technicals, let's sneak into what the people are thinking about the technicals of TAO and some news to get some context. This news came out 2 days ago and it was saying price ice recovery, echoing past rally pattern. So we have to admit this is a bullish perspective article, and I also found another article published on the same day with bearish expectations. This one says Bittensor unlikely to rhyme with history despite bounce from September 2024 lows. And a third target, this one eyes 400 after falling wedge breakout. This was written when the price was 250 and people are looking if this wedge on the 2-hour time frame can put up a 53% from the $250. The first article is basing the bullishness on the RSI and Sharpe ratio, and it's very basic kind of analysis, just saying that the last time the RSI was oversold, we had a 60% rally. People seem to be thinking that the 300 level is a significant one that we need to recover. They see it as a resistance level, so we're going to look into that. We're going to see if this makes any sense. And on the bearish article, the key takeaways are that TAO's price has increased by 15%, but the daily chart shows bearish momentum. This setup contradicts what happened after the price reached similar levels in 2024. This argument, I wouldn't share it by itself because I feel like most of the coins are trapped in a similar situation. The strength now for a recovery is way worse than what we saw in 2024, and that is a consequence of general markets tanking everything and not necessarily a weakness that only belongs to this particular coin. And I think that for good context is worth mentioning. Before we go into the technicals, make sure that you have a great exchange to trade. For example, OKX at the moment is offering 60,000 in rewards. The link is in the description, and by using that link, you also reduce the fees to a minimum. So here is the weekly chart of TAO. Focusing on the price, we can see that we are right battling with the 245 level of support. I can see that there was a fake out in here. There was a breakout that went all the way to $500, and that was the third rejection. After that, the longs got completely wiped out with a drawdown from that point of $500 of 57% additional to the downside. So we have to face it, longs have been completely dismantled in this drawdown there, and that is kind of the context that we have. Remember that the more the rest suffer, when you enter, you are in a better position. I'm not saying enter on any falling knife, but in here we need to recognize that the last time we came to $237, that was the support. We claimed the upper support at 353. This time we lost it, and we are kind of reclaiming that 244. That is a work in progress. So if this week Bitcoin closes in a good state, it could bring back TAO to reclaim the support of 244, and that is why I think this video is very time sensitive. We need now to move this line to here, connected with the closing price at 435, and that is what people are going to be looking for, a potential breakout. Just for our context, I'm not gonna trade a breakout on price. I also connect the lows of August with the highs of December, and I'm seeing in here the extension of Fibonacci levels. The first extension of one is talking about $800, and the golden pocket is taking us to 1,180. And I want you to memorize those numbers, because now we're gonna go into RSI and we're gonna start seeing some confluences. We're also gonna find some levels that are very relevant, from the liquidation levels. Remember, if you have good memory, we captured that $500 resistance. That happened thanks to all these tries. This one went to 494, this one went to 498, and the last one before the 57 drawdown went to 498. And that's why $500 is heavy back with shorts liquidations. So I think that one day Bittensor is gonna use that for a bullish narrative. And we are halfway through here, forming the second leg of a potential double bottom. I prefer in this case to put the neckline here, and I'll tell you why. Putting it at the top levels is great if you wanna use the argument of the liquidation level at $500. Putting it below at 435 and considering that level the level to break out is slightly more conservative, because it can always happen that you go just to the 500, retrace, and create a weekly close below 435 that can still bleed back down. I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna leave the line of the breakout in here, and we're gonna calculate some targets assuming that the current lows of 212 are gonna hold. If that's the case, the next target is around the previous order block in here. So let's summarize what we have so far. We have an initial target of $500. If we rally that and we hit $500, that's over 100% return, and then we complete the double bottom formation. If we do that, then we have a second target of 666 or 665, if you prefer that coincides with around the area of this left shoulder. Then we have the extension of one at $800 and a fourth level of the Fibonacci golden pocket, 1,180. Let's go now to the RSI. I promise you I was going to mention this confluence in here. Where is this confluence coming? Well, Bittensor has had a period of upside momentum and then a period of downside momentum on the weekly. The upside put a double top at 60, and assuming that our low now is at 38, then the one extension on the RSI takes us to 72. That 72 in the price is 1,180, which is the same as in the price. That confluence makes it an area of interest in case we see a recovery on general markets. In other words, if you enter at these low levels and you are able to stomach a potential additional drawdown to 160, which is the next level down of support, the lowest price of Bittensor so far, that's a 34% drawdown, or whether you want to add at that level if we get there, ideally with bullish divergence form on the weekly basis on the RSI at that point, then the initial target is 100. If general markets haven't recovered at that point, I will say, well, that's good enough for a rebound and a potential even rejection around this area if we hit that 500, and that's it. If markets have recovered at that point, we can start talking about target number 2. If we get an altcoin season and you're still in the position, why not waiting for number 1 extension? And if we get a very strong altcoin season, getting into the final top of 1,180 could be really sweet. Guys, I'm currently hosting a trading competition on Bluffing. If you want to join, at the top of the description there is a link that you can use. There's still 12 days and 6 hours to register. All you have to do is open an account on Bluffing with the link down below and then click register now. Let me know down in the comments what you think about the targets I just shared about Bittensor and whether you have any coin of your preference that you will want to see a similar analysis. Leave it down below. My team will capture that and make sure that I'm putting out some videos about that just like this one. Remember to hit the like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.